Hello and welcome to today's Thrive Challenge. Today you are in for a very special treat as we have Matt and Tony competing to see who can recreate an opt-in page as accurately as possible using Thrive Architect. Now, the reason we are doing an opt-in page challenge is because this is exactly the kind of thing that would apply to running your online business. I've chosen the opt-in page that Tony and Matt will be recreating ahead of time, and I chose it by browsing Facebook and clicking on an ad, which brought me to an opt-in page. So imagine that you need to drive traffic to an opt-in page so that you can build your email list. This is an example of the kind of page that you can build to run ads to, and you can post it on social media, etc. Now, let me quickly explain how things are going to work. The contestants are going to have up to 5 minutes to preview the page and figure out a strategy for building the page. Then the contestants will have 30 minutes to recreate the page to the best of their ability. Contestants are going to be judged on 3 criteria. Number 1, are all of the elements on the page? This means that even if the fonts and colors and the layout don't match, the element must be somewhere on the page. Number 2, accuracy. Does the page look like a decent replica of the original? Some things like fonts and images might be a little bit different, and that's totally okay because we can't get original images and fonts without incurring extra costs. And number 3, enhancements. This particular page is very simple, and because building an opt-in page such as this one might actually be very quick, especially when using Thrive Architect, if a contestant has extra time left, then they are welcome to add conversion boosting or attention grabbing enhancements to the page for extra points. When the challenge is revealed, each contestant is going to be provided with a guide in the form of a Google Doc that contains everything that an online entrepreneur might prepare beforehand when creating an opt-in page, such as things like hex codes for colors, fonts, page copy, and links to images. We are going to begin with the 5-minute preview. Matt and Tony, are you guys ready?
Yep, let's do it.
Let's do this.
Okay, so please check your DMs now for your link and the Google Doc. All right, guys, your 5 minutes begins now.
That's
All right.
interesting.
TechSmith, all right. Hopefully I can, looks like I can copy that image. Maybe I'll just, for a placeholder, I'll use like a text entry field and kind of replicate it. All right, get the guy.
Well, there's a drop-down field. You should put a drop-down field in the form.
And just so you found this page out, Christine, via a Facebook ad?
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, it works, right? It's a pretty straightforward opt-in page. Shouldn't be too complicated.
It's pretty simple, but I think you guys, with 30 minutes, you have some time to add some enhancements if you want.
I don't want to get too cocky. I'm going to try to just replicate it as well as I can, and then we'll see if there's room for improvements.
What's also kind of nice about this, because this is a landing page, or like a lead gen landing page, it's very focused. So they're not even using a header on this to distract from the actual conversion they want, which is to get the guide, enter the email address and get the guide. Segment, looks like they also want to segment people by who the solution is for and where they're coming from. So that's kind of interesting. And then just a basic footer with their privacy policy and contact info. So that's, even though it's pretty simple, it's also quite clever to keep the landing page quite focused, especially since they're sending traffic from paid ad campaigns. So, simple can also work. It doesn't always have to be so fancy to be successful.
Simple is great. I'm a big fan of simple.
All right. Well, I think
Cool.
I'm ready to get
All
going.
right.
Yeah,
You
let's
guys
do
ready?
this.
All right, let's do this. Let me start the timer.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to set up for 30 minutes here. Ready to start?
Yep.
I think so.
Okay. And go.
All right. And my current demo site is using Omi theme. think things are a little slow to load
Cool.
because we're using so much internet
The one thing that I
bandwidth
don't know. Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm not sure if I want to use the match height to screen option for the background section.
I'm just checking through the block sections for Omi theme real quick. You know what? I think I'm just going to grab this one. I think it'd be pretty quick to modify. All right. So what do I need to do?
Interesting take. Okay.
I need to come in and change the background image. So
I'm doing this one from scratch.
All right. So we've got Matt starting with a template and Tony starting from scratch. This will be interesting.
All right, that works.
Okay, I have the habit of always optimizing my images just to get the max performance gain. So,
So you're taking it to the next level. That's what you mean. All right, boy, bring it on.
You brought in a separate element for the line. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, technically you could use a border, but if I use a divider, then that means that I get to play with how much breathing room I want between the line and the image itself, whereas a border is going to have a fixed space difference.
You can...
Well, I guess you could have padding, right? Yeah.
Right.
Let's just roll with this. I don't know. I'm gonna trust my instinct.
All right, I'm uploading the logo. So something interesting I just noticed is the background image I see is different from the one you loaded up, Christine.
Right, it's maybe they're. One. I think she did mention that.
Oh, are they A/B testing different?
No, I couldn't get their image.
Oh, I see.
For one thing, I don't know how to just steal it off of their site. And then I couldn't find it when looking at pixels.
I'm just going to use the border feature to put that yellow line. Oh, we don't have a yellow here. Okay, I will grab it. Get the right extension.
Is there a...
The golden color should be in the doc.
Oh, did I just miss it? Oh, gold, not yellow. I have to say, it is a little bit, your thinking isn't as sharp when you're under the gun.
I told you. You were laughing at me last time. I told you that the camera recording, it's added pressure.
Now you'll notice that Tony used the divider for the horizontal yellow line. That means that if he wants to scale it, he will have to scale the logo and the line separately, as he's doing right now. Whereas Matt used the border on the edge of the image element, which means that when he wants to scale the image element, the border is going to scale with it, which can save just a little bit of time.
Hey.
So I like to use content boxes to kind of make like one, how should I say, like when I make width adjustments, like I don't have to change the width to every text element. I can just throw like text elements in a content box and then set a size to it. So I can get kind of the same, let's say like maybe it's 600 pixels or something here.
Now, Tony, tell the audience what you're doing right now when you're going into the inspector.
So even though Christine provided us with the similar fonts that are being used on this specific landing page that we can use with Thrive Architect, I just like to inspect every type of font style that I see on the landing page just to make sure that I'm getting the accurate font size or the proper font weight. Or if there's like any additional margins or paddings, the inspector of our browsers can tell us. all of that information. And you can do this with pretty much any web browser, whether I'm using Safari right now, but you can do this with Chrome, Brave, Firefox. This is pretty much a universal thing. And a lot of people get scared because you get to, once people see the CSS of the page here on the left-hand side, they freak out because, of course, we don't like code. But you don't really need to pay too much attention to the code itself. It's just right-clicking on the actual text element that you want to learn more information about and taking a look at the properties section here on the right-hand side. This is where I get to learn about the font size being used. And you can do this if you like a landing page, a landing page font that you see online or something, and you want to learn about what font they're using. This is a really cool way of doing so really quickly.
Excellent. Thank you, Tony.
I'm actually thinking here it may be better to use a style list. So my original approach to tackle the list on the left-hand column was to just use text and use the bullet option for that Thrive Architect has by default with text elements. But if I do that, then it's not as easy to control the line height in between list elements as it is if you actually use a styled list.
Good thinking, Tony.
I'm probably...
You know what I'm going to do
gonna look
here? So I see there's like two subheads or like H2 headings in the text meth one, and they look the same size and stuff. So I just want to get the styling the same, or write on one and then clone it, so I don't have to do that with two multiple elements.
It's an excellent time-saving tip. Super easy to do in Thrive Architect.
I'm just realizing I may need an additional 5 minutes here to really wrap it up, huh?
An additional 5 minutes. I don't think you're going to get an additional 5 minutes.
All right. All right. We do have drop-down opt-in forms, right?
You have drop-down fields.
We have drop-down, right, so, but we have drop-down fields, yes, okay, I see them.
Yeah, you can really choose any of those templates and you can insert a drop-down field in any of them.
All right, this is going to be interesting. So we need email and 2 drop-down fields.
Yes.
Right.
Now, as you just saw, Tony used an opt-in field template that had several different fields on it, and it was super easy to customize by deleting some of the fields that he didn't need, and now he's going to add in some drop-downs very easily in Thrive Architect. All right, we've got about 13 minutes and 41 seconds left.
God,
No problem.
Nope. Oh God, you're feeling that confident? I'm actually not that excited.
You got this.
Good template.
At this point, it looks like Tony's just a little bit ahead. All right, so there's a time-saving tip that neither one of our contestants did, which is use global colors. Once you set a global color once in Thrive Architect, you can easily select that global color anywhere else on the page with only a couple of clicks. And if you need to change your global color, you can easily change it once, and that color will change for everywhere else on the page that you used that color. All right, so we have 10 minutes left.
That doesn't sound very exciting, not gonna lie.
Okay, don't want to show label.
We're trying to make it in 30 minutes, but to be honest, for people at home watching, this is perfectly doable in an hour. Like in a good solid hour, you can have something very, very, very much like the example that we're trying to build. There's no need to rush it.
trying to remember how I can adjust the placeholder text. Oh, here we go. I'm looking for solutions. I'm looking for solutions.
So I actually want to talk to people about what it is that I'm doing. The text in the footer, not the copyright text here, but the three links, the privacy policy link, the accessibility link, and the contact link, those, they may seem easy, but if you take a closer look, there are like small bullet points in between them that work as separators. I don't know if there's a better way of doing this, Matt or Christine, or if you guys know of a better way of doing this, but I've actually put each individual element in a column. So I have a column for the privacy policy text, a column for a bullet, a column for the accessibility text, and then another column for the contact text and the bullet point. I don't know if there's a better way of doing that. You're going to have to, if you do it like this, I know that when the time comes to optimize this for mobile, you're going to have to create like something that's a little bit more mobile responsive. Like if you try to make this mobile responsive, it's probably not going to work for you. But I can't, from the top of my head, I don't know if there's a better way of doing it.
Well, I'll tell you, just the way that I've usually done it is I just use text bullets and I just put everything on one line and call it a day.
I guess you could do that, right?
I mean, I'm just one of
Problem
those
is that
people
you're...
that have kept things simple, you know?
Yeah.
But I do like your idea. I think it could potentially look a lot better.
Try to make this look a little bit nicer.
All right, so we've got about 4 minutes and 50 seconds left.
All right, getting down to the wire.
Tony
I'm actually
right now,
struggling with something. I'm not sure if you can tell, Christine.
What are you struggling with?
My main content box is touching my footer, and that shouldn't be happening. Which means that... Can I make this taller? I can, so maybe like if we make this 1300 pixels. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Okay, and I just need a little bit of... I'm worried I may not get to the footer here.
Oh, I forgot about the small little text here.
We are getting down to the wire, about 3 minutes and 35 seconds left. Try to get everything on the page would be my recommendation to at least satisfy criteria 1.
Oh, no. No, I got locked out. No. What just happened? Okay, I think I'm back. Oh no. Got scared there for a minute. Shoot, and I haven't hit saved in like 5 or 10 minutes.
Save real quick. All right, and then I'm gonna go page, put a footer.
Oh no, this is bad. I think. Okay, no, okay. I got scared there for a minute.
Matt is using a footer template. We have about 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Oh no. So now you've decided not to use a template. Oh no, you are using a template. Are you using a template?
Oh, I was just gonna edit, but that's actually a better idea. Maybe I'll change the footer, get a simple template. That one's pretty simple. What's it look like?
Nothing is simpler than just a background section.
Oh, you're so right.
You doing all right over there, Matt?
Oops. Oh, I just locked. Oh, no. I'm really struggling because my my computer just keeps lagging a little bit, and then it changes, and I.
Okay, 1 minute, 30 seconds left.
My computer just went blank. Christy.
No.
Okay, now it's back. Okay, I need to make this a little bit less wide. Here, let's just
All right,
bring
we've
the
got
white-
1 minute left.
Oh no!
Oh my God.
Six, 5, 4, 3,
No,
2, 1, and that's it.
Shit. Okay.
All right, hands off the computers. And what did you guys think?
It was actually, it's always the little details that always take the most time. I feel like I can get the big stuff done pretty quick, and then it's like looking at the example and then trying to get all the text right, all the little like border thicknesses and colors, and like matching the lead generation page. It's always the tiny little details that take the most time. So, and honestly, like matter the least. For this, it matters because we're trying to match the page, but for the average person, I think like if you can get the big stuff done first, and I think using a lot of the pre-designed templates helps with that, then like you're 80% there, and then you can just tweak to your heart's content on the little stuff to make things look aesthetically better. But I guess that's always my big takeaway with doing these or building pages.
Okay. What did you think, Tony?
I thought I knew I wasn't going to have enough extra time to just try to enhance it even more. At first, I thought it was going to be pretty easy, but then once you actually start building, you realize that hey, you may need a little extra time. Like once we had 10 minutes left, I knew I was going to need an additional 5 minutes or something to really spruce it up a little bit more. Overall, I think I got pretty close, but another 10, 15 minutes would have been nice. And if you really, the landing page has some room for improvement in it of itself. So another hour, 2 hours, like another couple hours to just really make it a little bit better would have been really nice.
So here's my question to you guys. If you only had half an hour and someone said, you only have half an hour to create this landing page and it has to go up, we're sending it out, do you think you'd be able to do that?
Yeah,
for sure. For sure. And especially if like you have the copy and you're not like mimicking little details, like, and you're just like, oh, that's a nice looking template. Boom, swap out the image, throw the copy on, update the lead gen form. You can tell like half of the challenge was, or I hope, or this is what it felt like to me. Half the challenge was like getting border colors correctly and line thicknesses correct and typographies. So, it's like, yeah, if you don't have to do all of those little things, like for sure you can get something like this up and running and published like 30 minutes or less, I feel. You may tweak for another 2 hours after that, but
Yes. All right. So can you guys please send me the links to your pages for judging? Okay, so looking at Matt's, right away, I actually really like what you did with using the template because I actually prefer the rounded corners on the content box and the rounded corners on the image of the lead magnet. I think I see that there is a rounded corner on the middle field where there are little sharper corners on the other two fields inside the opt-in form. The spacing for that little line underneath the button could be a little more, just a little more space.
Yeah,
underneath the
yeah.
button.
And I
You
didn't
did
even get
get-
the button rounding right there. I was rushing at the end there, I think.
I see. You got like part of the footer in, but not everything. Okay.
Yeah, I ran out of time because I was just trying to get the footer up, and I grabbed the template, and I was like, oh, I'll just grab the simple footer template. And then what I did is I just grabbed a custom menu element and dragged it in, and then set it to the to one of my existing footers, like our menus, WordPress menus. So if I had a little extra time, I would have just gone into WordPress and set up like a new footer menu, and then had that populate there, and then tweak the styling a little bit.
All right. Okay. Overall, pretty good. Let me take a look at Tony's. All right. So on Tony's looks a little bit more like the original. I noticed that the background image stays static when I scroll, which is closer to the original. Tony, though, you did use a template for the email opt-in, right?
Right. I mean, I dragged in a pre-made
exactly.
template. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, okay, I guess I have to make a decision on who wins, yeah?
Yeah, I think maybe you got to decide who looks like most like the original, but then you could, I don't know, is there one you like better?
Okay, so I will say that I think the one that looks more like the original is Tony's, but there are parts of Matt's that I like better. In particular, I do like the rounded corners of the content box and the lead magnet image. So I really don't know how to judge this.
Go for
Yeah,
it,
I was just gonna say, I think one of the main problems that the main opt-in page has is that sometimes it's using rounded corners and then sometimes it's not. Like if you take a look at their original opt-in page, they are using rounded corners for the image of the free copy of the lead magnet, but then the main content box in which it sits inside doesn't have rounded corners. And then their buttons are using rounded corners, but some other elements are not. So I kind of really like it when people, like if you're going to use rounded corners for everything, but don't mix and match things. That's how I usually approach corners.
Or
yes, I would
if
definitely
you
agree with that, Tony.
if you are going to mix and match things, make sure it's like a strategic pattern interrupt. So maybe everything's square except for the get the guide button. That's rounded because that pattern interrupt might just draw it out a little more.
All right. I mean, do I have to pick one winner?
It could be a tie. It could be, this is what happened last time. It was like, well, this one's better at some things, that one's better at others.
Look, why don't we let people decide? I mean, last time we had people saying, hey, Christine won, and then we had some other people saying Tony won. So let's just let people decide, since Christine doesn't want to get her feet wet.
The thing is that I really do think that Tony's is closer to the original, but I really do think that Matt's looks better because the original doesn't look that great. So Matt's, I know he didn't finish the footer, but he did spend a lot of time customizing the main portion of the page to make it look pretty. So I don't know. I think I'm going to let the audience decide. I'm going to say it's a tie. I hate to say that, like, every time we do these, everyone's always going to tie, but I kind of feel that way.
Wait till I'm the judge and the moderator.
Tony's got no chill. Tony's got no chill.
Tony's going to be brutal. I know that already. All right, so now it's your turn to build your own landing pages. If you're new here and you aren't familiar with Thrive themes, we have an entire collection of tools to help you build your website and your online business. Thrive Theme Builder is our WordPress theme. Thrive Architect is our page builder, which is great for landing pages, thank you pages, sales pages, webinar sign-up pages, etc. And we also have other tools for creating and inserting quizzes, countdown timers, creating and selling online courses, and more. You can buy each tool separately if that's all you need, but you'll get the best value by purchasing Thrive Suite, which includes all of our tools. To learn more, click the link down in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to check out some of our other videos, and we'll see you next time.